Welcome to the Retail Insider video interview series. I'm your host, Craig Patterson, and we're joined here today with a special guest. This is Kyle Tomlin. He's the Director of Events for Canada for ICSC, which is having a conference that's coming up quite soon. Welcome, Kyle.
Thank you. I'm excited to be here, Craig.
Now, the ICSC conference is coming up in October. What are the dates again for the conference, and when are people getting into Toronto specifically for the most part?
Yeah, thanks. Yeah, the ICSC at Canada Conference, what folks in the industry in Canada know traditionally as quote unquote ICSC Toronto. It starts October 2nd to 4th, right at the Metro Toronto Convention Center North Hall, right off Front Street. And geez, that's a great question. People come in for this show from across Canada and from the United States. They start funneling in over the weekend, and some of them will have ancillary meetings and events that attach to this to our main program, and they're here for the better part of that week. So it's a real exciting time for commercial and retail leasing in Canada.
I've been going to these events for a few years, and they're quite big. There's going to be lots of attendees. There's going to be booths. There's going to be various activities. Let's talk about the show floor, first of all, because
Yeah.
there's going to be some presentations and whatnot. So it's going to be set up, I think, similar to previous years.
Yeah, so coming out of the pandemic, obviously, we have moved things around a bit. We rebranded a few years ago, ICSC did. So it looks and feels a lot different to those who used to attend this show and be on the show floor in years past. We've seen the show floor grow, and we've added new things to it. Those who've been here forever, of course, the food hall and our food court area, food hall with food hall exhibitors giving out free treats is still a mainstay of our floor. But we've added to that. We now have a show floor, ICSC show floor theater that we introduced a couple years ago. This has now grown, and this is where the majority of our sessions are going to be. So our retailer special industry groups, business session, operation and marketing sessions are all going to be right there, right on the show floor. It's on the very eastern side of the floor where the theater will be, so it is protected a little bit for sound barrier and all that good stuff. And we've expanded the floor theater a bit to make it bigger because we expect these sessions to be well attended. In addition to that, another brand new this year, and for those who were missing coffee on our floor last year, we have the ICSC Refreshment Lounge, generously sponsored by Starbucks. That's going to be up in the northwest corner of the floor this year. It's a little extra networking area for folks. There's going to be Starbucks coffee served throughout both days. So those who are looking for coffee can get your coffee there. And there's going to be some extra tables and chairs and some grab-and-go goodies for folks at breakfast time or throughout the day. Certainly not to interfere with our food hall. And we have a great list of food hall contributors this year and some people that are new to the floor as well.
I'm really excited for the food hall because it is free food, and the vendors, it's often really delicious. I eat a lot. ICSC.
It's unique to the show, actually. This is one of the few shows that's permitted to do this. These are samples, and this is sample size portions from these food vendors, and they love to get there and expose their brand to the leasing and commercial and retail real estate community in Canada. So it's a great part of the show.
That's excellent. Now, there's an agenda. There's going to be speakers there. I'm actually going to be interviewing Joanna Griffiths, the founder of Nix. And that's in that main stage area I think you were talking about. That's correct in terms of the location.
Actually, you're going to be, because we think your session is going to be so popular, you're one of our keynotes, Craig. You're going to be, as you said, interviewing Joanna Griffiths from Nix. That's going to be down in our traditional keynote address ballroom down in 105, 106. So that stays downstairs, and our opening remarks on October 3rd stay downstairs. Every other session is moving now upstairs onto the trade show floor theater. For those who have been there in years past, we no longer use the rooms on the street level. It's either going to be on the deal-making floor or down in our keynote session hall.
Excellent. That's a bit of a difference. This was terrific. Let's talk about the agenda. I think there's some stuff around AI, some stuff around augmented reality. Tell me a bit about what's planned for that.
Yeah. For those who don't know, the ICSC Canada agenda does not come together unless we have the fantastic support of volunteers. ICSC members here in Toronto and across Canada all gather throughout the year and talk about the concepts and themes that are relevant to retail, relevant to commercial and retail real estate. The biggest topic that was discussed in these meetings is technology. Everybody knows technology is impacting everything to do with retail and commercial leasing, commercial real estate across Canada, across North America, across the world for that matter. And we're going to have a couple sessions on that. We have Dr. Helen Papagiannis. She is an augmented reality expert. Augmented reality is something that brick and mortar retailers are using to enhance their customer experience big time. Think of those glasses that you can wear where the digital screens pop up if you walk by a store. Think of that in terms of augmented reality and all the things that can go into that. It's pretty impressive. AI is another one, artificial intelligence, literally having computers telling you what to do. Everybody's heard about ChatGPT and all those other types of platforms. There are huge developments coming with AI, not just in those type of consumer-facing things, but in back-end operations as well. We have computer and AI. We have a panel discussing that as well. So technology is a huge issue or a huge topic this year at this year's conference for sure.
Excellent, excellent. I love these conferences because there's an element, and of course, of the deal making. Now, I'm not making deals specifically with people. I'm not a broker, but we like to hear about them. But there is also, of course, the education component, which people are finding to be quite useful.
Yeah, everybody knows ICSC at Canada is the show where people get together and millions of dollars of real estate transactions are either finalized or at least discussed. It's impressive. I wouldn't even want to put a number on the amount of financial volume that is discussed at this show. That's a highlight of the show for sure. But there's also the educational element. We're not just here to talk or to make deals. That's a huge part of the show. We're here to educate our members as well and to talk about issues that are relevant to the industry. So that's why a show like this is so exciting.
In Canada, the next one after this is going to be in Whistler, I believe, is January of 2024.
Yeah. So the way the business cycle traditionally worked within the commercial leasing industry or retail leasing industry was, in Canada at least, a lot of doors were opened in Toronto. So what you'll see in Toronto at the ICSC at Canada, you'll see a lot of new retailers. You'll see a lot of retailers that are exploring expansion from the United States. We had Jersey Mike's last year. We have some others that are coming to the floor, like Chick-fil-A this year, that are looking to expand from their U.S. footprint. Those are door opening conversations, generally speaking. Not to say that deals don't close in Toronto, they certainly do. But then a few months later, everybody gets on a plane or who are in BC gets on the Highway 99 and heads up into the Whistler, and that's where deals are closed. So our Whistler show for January 2024 is January 21st to 23rd. And that's a cycle. People come to Toronto to initiate discussions and close some deals, but have a lot of great discussions. And then we consider Whistler our deal closing show. But there's great content and educational content, and you'll be there too, Craig, for that show as well. So we're looking forward to it.
I'm excited. I love these events. Like I said, and I'm doing this because I'm enthusiastic about ICSC. I've enjoyed dealing with people there, whether or not it's brokers, yourself, organizers. It's just such a great thing to have here. I'm so excited. So
a little bit more about this show coming out of the pandemic. We've obviously seen a tremendous momentum building with this conference. We've had our attendance increase. We're expecting it to increase this year again. We're expecting close to 3,000 attendees. And that is traditionally where this conference has lived in terms of participation. So we're very excited about that. Some lean years over the pandemic, but we're excited, and it's really exciting to see everybody coming back to live events, everyone coming back to our show floor, and lots of retailers. Another tidbit for those who may be interested, I've been impressed with the amount of cities and municipalities that have been are starting to partner with ICSC and attend these events and exhibit. Niagara region is a big participant this year, and there's other smaller municipalities that are throughout the floor. Fort McMurray, two different organizations from Fort McMurray, a tiny little town 4 hours north of Edmonton. They see the value of this type of program for their municipality and for their city. So it's really great to see municipalities joining us as well.
Thank you again so much for joining us here. This is Kyle Tomlin, the Director of Events for Canada at ICSC.
You're welcome. Great to hear, and it's great to partner with Retail Insider.
And definitely looking forward to ICSC at Canada, which will be the first week of October in Toronto for those who aren't aware. Be sure to attend if you can, if you're in that group that would be doing so. Thank you so much. And I'm Craig Patterson. I'm the founder and publisher of Retail Insider Media. Thank you so much, everyone, for joining us here today. Be sure to follow us on whatever channel you're listening to this on or watching. Take care and bye for now.